Welcome everyone to Chibino Podcast. This is Miles, your tech guy.
And this is David the Smash Fan.
So Disney dropped today the Rise of the Skywalker D23. It's their special look. It's their sizzle reel trailer that came out. And we're just going to kind of focus just on the new footage and the new footage alone. I'm going to kind of skip through the first part of it. We're just going to theorize and kind of speculate on some of the scenes in here. And in the comments, please theorize with us. Give us any comments and whatever you guys think is going on here as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so first scene here, we got Planet Pisana, and it has, this is where we know the Aki natives live. They were in the Vanity Fair leak. They're these guys here. And these really cool looking aliens. Looks like it's more, you know what, now that I'm noticing this, these are more props. I wonder if people are inside of suits in here or not, because I know J.J. Abrams really likes doing the props.
Yeah, he likes doing that. It might be. They look ugly. I don't like them.
Yeah, they look cool though. I think they look kind of cool. Let's see what else we got here. So let's go to the next scene here. Okay, there's Carrie Fisher, looking beautiful as always. Rest in peace. So yeah, Dave, looking at her, this obviously looks like. So you were we talked off. Recording here before as well, but I'm not sure if this is Endor. You're not thinking maybe Endor, right?
It just looks too jungle-y than Endor
Foresty.
did. Endor did also look like more of a forest, and we talked about this off air as well. That I honestly think that this could be a vision, because we don't know the exact fate of Carrie Fisher or of Princess Leia, Queen Amidala. We don't know her fate in Rise of Skywalker, so she probably could have died or is dead. We don't know, and this is a vision.
So, we do know that they're not going to kill her off. They stated that, and that they said they give her. Yeah, so that's confirmed. That's good. This is obviously Force Awakens footage with a new costume, and to me, it reminds me of the costume when she's hugging Rey in the first trailer we got. Because I don't think they're going to give us much footage than what... They're just extending or getting clips of the original scenes we've seen. I don't think they're giving us too much, which I think's smart.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if she's... And then I don't know what this would be then. Because I don't know. There's no context enough to... There's not enough context to be like, well, it's a vision, or she's just randomly in the forest. It's just kind of an odd thing.
I have an idea on something as well, and there's another scene inside of this this trailer here that we have with Rey. I'll get to it later, but there's like a training scene with her, and it might be the same place. And we do have confirmation too that the training scene is part of the beginning of the movie. So I think this might just be the beginning of the movie, and maybe she's just looking over Rey and saying how she's proud of her or something. That's kind of my guess.
That makes sense, yeah.
That's just speculation, of course. But let's see. The next scene we got... Okay, this scene's awesome. This is super awesome. Now, Dave, you were talking to me off recording as well. You had a theory about this. Or, thoughts, I guess.
My thought is, I don't not well versed in the extended universe or in the new continuity that Disney has made, but this is the first time I've ever seen any aircraft or any spacecraft go from the hyperjump and go actually inside the atmosphere of a planet. It's never been done. I don't know if there's anything that's against it, because I always assumed that when they went to hyperjump that there's whenever they hyperjump too, they were sure that place had no debris, had nothing that they would hit, so that it'd be a safe. Whereas if we go into the atmosphere, it's more risky. And again, I'm not too well versed. I don't know if you can shed any light on that, Miles, but that was just my thought on it.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? Maybe this is some weird thing that's I don't know, going into, maybe they can go into the atmosphere or something. I mean, it's obviously cloudy. They have to be within a planet. They have to be.
Yeah.
But, no, that's a really, really good point. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously this is the rebellion getting their fleet, and it's kind of cool. I mean, you can see some of the A-Wings from the prequel, and then of course we have the famous Y-Wings and X-Wings, and, and then it's also awesome too, these, the bombardment, or I can't remember what you call these. They're the, whatchamacallit, it's the one that's like Leia's in,
yeah.
Yeah. So, it's kind of cool you see that, and that's probably the one she's in, possibly. But it's just interesting to see. I like how they're including the prequel ships as well as the current, where we're currently at. I love that they're doing that. And then the next scene adds to that, and then you see this. This is a holy shit moment. Look at all these Star Destroyers. Now, my thought when I saw this, because we also know that the First Order is weakened as well with their army and what they have, right? So if I'm guessing from what we have with leaks and speculations as well, the Sith troopers, whatever they are, whatever, if there's Palpatine's extra army, maybe from the outer regions, maybe something's been going on with manufacturing. I feel this might intertwine with the Sith troopers and their huge army.
Well, wasn't it told that Emperor Palpatine told some of his forces to go into the outer region?
Yes.
So that,
but we don't know about why.
Building everything up.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could have been building this up as they were out there.
Yeah.
So that whenever they heard Palpatine's message or whatever, because like I said, Palpatine's going to be he's going to take a huge role in this movie. He's in the movie poster, so that would make sense that they bring all of these at the first sign of Palpatine telling him to come back or something.
Yeah. No, I definitely think so. My bets are definitely on the Sith troopers, for sure.
Yeah.
Because we got to figure out how the hell that Kylo is going to get the army rebuilt as well. Because the First Order took a massive hit too. So I'm really considering, really curious on what's going to take place here. Let's go to the next. Sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, before we go, I wanted to ask. I don't know if it's just the way that they look, but I thought they were way bigger.
Oh, they're big. They're big.
I guess the way that they're in the clouds, it just makes them look smaller. Mm-hmm. At least, I guess when they do the fights in space, it makes them look humongous. I thought they'd be way bigger, but again, it could just be because you see it in space versus you see them in the atmosphere might change a little bit. But that was just my little comment thing.
Yeah, no, you're fine. And the next scene we get right here, I don't know what ship they're in right here, Finn, but that's the Janna. I think, I don't want to butcher her name. It's Naomi Aki, I believe, is the actress for that. I still believe she's Lando's daughter.
Yeah, but we haven't had any confirmation.
Mm-mm. If you look right here behind her, though, you see this pilot has the orange kind of jumpsuit that they usually have in the X-wings and stuff like that. I don't know what they're in here. It's obviously not the Falcon. I can guarantee that. So I'm
pretty sure Lando's in it, and they're in something else.
Yeah, I don't know what they're looking at. I mean, it could just be trailer tricks. We don't know if they're looking at that huge fleet or not. I don't think so. I think the lighting's a little too light in the windows, but it's not really much to speculate here. It's just kind of cool to see Finn hanging out with the new character, Janna. So, not much really here. Let's see here. Okay, this one's funny. What are your thoughts?
I think C-3PO has pink eye.
Oh, I love that. So he doesn't have his red arm anymore. Now, I have some theories on this. Remember with the leaked poster we got, when originally people were calling bullshit and they thought the Sith troopers thing, like the red stormtroopers were bull, and they just thought it was Photoshop. It wasn't. Those are real stuff. And we saw that really weird thing with 3PO where he had a gun.
Yeah.
So we've seen it in Attack of the Clones where his head gets put onto the one of the droids, right? And he starts shooting, and he's pretty much it's almost like some of his programming is getting crazy, like where he's shooting at him and making fun remarks and stuff. I'm wondering if something happens here where he's gonna get a protocol change into where he's more like a combat droid, and he won't be so weak and whiny and running away and the comic relief we're so used to with him. Maybe he's gonna get some balls in this. I don't know.
It makes sense because I know some people were saying that maybe he's got caught, and I was like, well, but he's not restrained in any way. So this makes sense that the rebels are gonna change him so that he will fight. Because because they need more people. Yeah,
that's a good point. And if we looked at that poster, didn't he have Chewie's bowcaster?
I thought so. He had to be trying to shoot that.
So it's going to be funny. I kind of feel this is iffy if my theory is correct on this. I think it's going to be a really fun comic relief. And kind of a nod. Scum. Yeah, exactly. And he might kind of, well, in this case, die First Order scum maybe, but we'll see what happens. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this is interesting. This is really... I have a lot to say about this. Do you have anything to say on this one?
I wonder what they're shooting at, what they're shooting with, because we know Starkiller Base is destroyed, and this beam does not look nearly as strong as what it did in Episode 7. So I don't know if it's a weakened one, or if they are, or if they've done modifications to have maybe a smaller base that can still put out a ton of energy to destroy. But again, I don't know if it's destroying the planet, but it looks like it's going to.
Yeah. My theories might be a little interesting to you. If you remember from the first trailer we had of Rise of Skywalker, you see the one ship that looked very familiar to Rey's parents' ships when she saw him in the Fourth Vision in Force Awakens. This, if you go back and look at that trailer, and you look at the planet that it's flying over, it had these same snowy tipped ice cap mountains. I think this is the same planet from the trailer, from the first trailer, where you see Rey's parents' ship, or if that is Rey's parents, sorry, it's all speculation, of course. I'm wondering if this is a flashback scene, and this is maybe how her parents died, or something like that. I think this is early stages of the Starkiller Base shooting its laser, because we know with the First Order and stuff, when they have their ships shooting down, it's usually green lasers, not red. And the only red laser we know is the Starkiller Base. So, right. And it does stuff like this, obviously. I have a feeling this was in early, like, times when they first were doing, like, prototype stuff. And I think this is the same planet, too, where that ship flied in the first trailer.
That could be true. I mean, I know that JJ wants to, like, complete the whole story of Rey, so...
He has a lot of work to do.
This does make sense. I heard that, though, that this planet might not be a flashback, that it has... That this is the same planet that Kylo Ren lands on later on in the trailer. You see it's all snowy. So there's that theory too, that this planet has something to do with the present time. So it might not be a flashback.
Ah, good one. I didn't think about that, Dave. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, this scene is interesting. So for me and a lot of people that have issues with Rey having no training, it looks like they're listening. Looks like she's learning some stuff. This is cool because it reminds me of Vader's throw, obviously, and what was it? I think Dooku, he threw it as well in the prequel. So she's kind of learning that, like, force throw, and then she, like, retracts it back like Thor's hammer. You can actually see the training droid right here, too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And this forest, this is kind of what I was getting back with previously, is this looks like where Leia was. It looks like the same type of planet. And we do know that the training scene is at the beginning of the film. During the beginning scenes, I should say. So...
So I'm wondering what's making her... Another question that I have is what's making her so frustrated. And here's my thing, and this, I don't know if J.J. Abrams is going to do this or not, but what I think would be really cool is that she has all this knowledge to fight and to all this stuff, but she doesn't know, but she doesn't know the basics, you know? So it's like learning to run before you can learn how to walk. So what I'm thinking is that she maybe has all these, like, advanced techniques that she knows how to do, but she doesn't have the basics down, and that's what's frustrating her.
Maybe. I don't know. She kind of makes weird faces. Remember when when people always kind of made that funny meme-looking picture where she has a bloated mouth and she's trying to shoot the Han's blaster? Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could just be a Daisy face. I don't know. But I know what you mean. It's just... She needs an explanation because, I mean, people can argue the left and right thing of, like, she's Mary Sue, she's not a Mary Sue, but there's a huge divide on that one, and it is hard to argue that she's not. So it would be really nice to get some answers. And, you know, the Palpatine thing that we always bring up, I mean, that would explain some stuff, you know, but we need some kind of answers because... In the original trilogy, Yoda clearly states that when Luke asks him, is the dark side stronger? And he says, easier, not stronger. And the path to the dark side's always been easier. And that's going to break lore if they don't, you know, find some kind of way to fix this. You know, you shouldn't, besides the whole bullshit of a book and her downloading training from Kylo Ren, 16 years with Luke, that's just bullshit, and they need to figure a different way. So I do like seeing her training. I do like her reading probably some of the text she got, you know, in The Last Jedi and learning some techniques. And she's probably going to learn probably some new stuff we haven't even seen, and that's what I'm really excited for. I want to see some new Force stuff, you know?
What I want to see is I want to see multiple lightsaber duels.
Sure.
And this is what I would like to see, is that there is a fight right in the beginning, and Rey is utterly destroyed by Kylo. They escape, and she's letting out her frustrations here because she's like, "What happened? Like I was fighting him, and now like she's gone. She hasn't progressed as much as him, and she's frustrated. I don't know. I would hope that there's something like more of an explanation of why she's upset. And I would hope that her knowing that Kylo is still way better than her gets her more frustrated, so that it again doesn't. It kind of like makes her not as also powerful.
Yeah, because she hasn't really lost to somebody that was trained under Skywalker. You know what I mean? I don't like that, and it's kind of like we've seen her. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like she's always she's never really losing, and that would be kind of a cool idea, I think, because then it'd make that final battle. Yeah, she needs to lose because it's hard to relate to a character that is just, in a better sense, perfect. I want to see her struggle so I can relate with her, and she's not losing to Kylo. Like, I'm almost rooting for Kylo. Like, can he beat Rey? Because he's not really been doing a good job the last 2 movies. So that would be actually a really cool thing. I didn't even think of that, dude. What if another theory on top of that is, what if, like, we get the Knights of the Ren early and, like, she gets in a big battle and like loses, and I don't know if that bandana's covering a scar that she got from her training, or maybe she got in a battle. That's actually a really cool theory to think that she got in a battle in the beginning of the movie. That would be really cool, like her losing.
I think so too, and I think it's kind of it would be kind of cool because we've had Anakin loses his hand, we had Luke lose his hand, and Rey maybe doesn't lose her hand, but she gets it injured, and so it's kind of like reminiscing or being nostalgic and kind of putting the same steps that they did in the first 2 trilogies into this one, that she has some sort of some injury, just kind of a nod to the other 2. I think that'd be kind of cool too.
Give us some kind of struggle with her, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do like how it retracts back, like you kind of see like the Thor's hammer retract back. That's just kind of really cool. It's weird too that she has a stick in her hand, so I don't know if she's like training with like how to use her stick and the saber at the same time, or 2 weapons. I don't really know what the stick's for.
It's not her bow though.
No,
yeah, it's not her bow because obviously you said it's a stick. So
yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like right here, you see the stick, and it's I don't know. We saw her. We don't know where. It's weird too. It's like, where's your staff? Because we saw her have a staff when she was training herself in The Last Jedi. So I don't know where her staff is. I don't know. Let's see. I kind of slowed it down so you can see that grab is just awesome. Yeah. So let me get this back to normal speed here. This is the one that you had a theory on, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking that it's either the space, it's either the planet, the snowy one,
sure,
that we saw getting shot. It could be the same planet where we saw all the First Order spacecrafts.
The Star Destroyers?
It has that, it's a Star Destroyer because it has that same kind of dark blue, black, and lightning.
Yeah.
So it's probably all in the same like scene, in the same act.
And you know how they've talked about leaks that we're supposed to get Rey and Kylo fighting, and it's almost like dimensions, like her appearing and rippling like different areas.
This isn't Dragon Ball Super Broly, okay? No.
I'm just saying what the leaks have said. There's been really huge things about that by valid sources, but yeah, no, I'm just kind of wondering, like, so it's Interceptor here, and this being the sand as well. I'm wondering if this is the same planet they were fighting on in the trailer when you see his Interceptor coming to plow down like Rey, and she does her force jump thing, and this is maybe like nighttime when something's happened, maybe? I don't know.
Possibly.
It looks sand related, right? Like cracked sand and stuff. I mean,
sand, ice, I don't know. They might be just be playing with us and making us guess, so I don't know.
JJ likes to do that.
Yeah, he does.
Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Now this is badass. There's the Death Star ruins. You can see in the background there on a piece of the Death Star. The water's just everywhere. And I remember reading during the filming of this process, they had to do multiple takes and they were extremely tired and they kept getting soaking wet. And it was a really hard scene for them to do. You can see them just battle here, just like right here. Just super intense. That is so badass. What do you take from this?
Again, it's looking like there's going to be multiple fight scenes when I see this. Is this going to be one of their confrontations? Why they're there, I don't know. Like, are they looking something regarding Palpatine? And Kylo is also looking for the same thing as well. The one thing that I hope is that they do the choreography a little bit more like they did in the prequel trilogy, because I haven't been way impressed by what they've done so far in this new one, and it kind of in this one again, it's just early one, but it just shows that they're just kind of swinging just with brute force and not with any type of style that we've seen, in previous movies and in previous shows. So I'm hoping that they spiced it up a little bit, just because I've kind of grown accustomed to it from the prequels.
I mean, as long as we don't have like the 20 swings in the back before colliding, I'm good. But I totally know what you mean. I mean, it make it a little more styling, because that's the one thing I remember when we were young, right? And you first watch the prequels and you get that like Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan fighting Maul, and just the choreography of that. I mean, it was unreal at the time, because we saw the slower stuff with Luke and Vader, and of course that was during the time. I can't really knock it because it's an older film, but it was really amazing to go into like the new age and seeing like the technology with the choreography and what they can do with films now, and it was just so epic to have those lightsaber battles. And I agree with you, I'd like to see that come back in some type of way, and the closest I've seen to that so far has honestly been number 9, the trailer, when Rey does like the force flip. We haven't really gotten that kind of stuff either, where in the prequels you had like the long jump, so it's kind of cool they added that back. So if they could add like the flashy lightsaber battles, I think that would be really cool. And as long as the choreographer doesn't screw up and have missing blades and weird, as much as the throne room scene is cool in The Last Jedi, there's so many choreography flaws, it's horrendous. So I really want them to kill it this time, especially with the last battle with Kylo and Rey. I want them to kill it, and like you said, I want them to kind of fight multiple times in the movie. I don't want just like a cool 10-minute fight scene, that's all we get in a long movie. I want like multiple, like, if it's the last of the last, I want them to slay it.
Right.
So that's actually a good idea, dude. If they could do prequel lightsaber battle styles, that would be really cool. But you're right, this kind of looks more like the brute force swings, right? Like the heavy force. Like. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is kind of like that, huh? Yep. You're right.
And so here we get the final, like...
So, actually, before I go there, I want to step back for a sec. Some people noticed, if you slow down the volume, I'm not going to do it in this video, when Palpatine says it nears the end, you can hear a slight voice. I'm not going to do it on this video, but anybody that's going in and watch it, up your volume right here when he says, right here. Okay, there's a voice right there. If you up your volume and put it at like 0.5, 0.25. I was on Star Wars Theory's video, and we were all doing it together, and it was really crazy. It almost sounds like Anakin saying, like, I hate you or something, is what we were trying to diagnose on the live chat together. Like, there's tons of people in the stream, we all caught it. I want anybody to go out there, too, and see if you can hear something different, but it's really cool. I think there's a little Easter egg in there that they did. But
okay, I know I heard the breathing, but I didn't hear any.
Yeah, slow down the video. Dialogue. It's a slight thing. It's almost kind of like when we heard in Force Awakens when Rey had her vision, and there was tiny little clips like Yoda, Hugh McGregor that we didn't catch, and all that type of stuff is in there. I think they did a little tease in there. So just a little heads up for people if they want to do this on their own. But let's just get to the meat of the trailer, because this is the meat right here. This is what the hell is this? When I first saw this, I got chills. I mean, what do you think of this, dude? What the hell is this shit?
I was taken back because it looks so cool, and so she looks so pale, and I was like, what the heck?
She's like stoic, dude. Like she's emotionless, but she seems like she's almost, I don't know, man. Like obviously it's not her, right? But you can see something's not right about her, right? It doesn't look like her. Like, you see more of her cheekbones. Like, I don't know, dude. She doesn't look right.
And so there's tons of theories that's going around here. And so I think there's one thing that that you talked about, and I don't know if this is true or not, because one of your theories was she's in Dagobah and she goes into the cave that Luke went into.
Oh, not that she's on Dagobah. It reminds me of the Dagobah scene.
Oh, it reminds.
So I think this could be another, like, fourth vision, and it could be near the beginning, because here's the thing. J.J. Abrams likes to trick us. If you remember Force Awakens, remember when we all thought Finn was the Jedi, and no, he was not the Jedi. Like, this is a J.J. Abrams trick, man. I don't think this is an evil Rey. I think she's seeing a vision, or she's going into a cave, kind of like when Luke saw himself in Vader, what he could have become if he killed him, and him joining the dark side. I think this is something like that.
I'm thinking that this has to do with them in a temple or in Darth Vader's castle or something, because the feel of it, if you've seen Rebels, you know that when they go to the temple, they like the way that Ezra went into, like, was this kind of like triangular slant corridors and entrances, and that's what right behind Rey. And then like to the right, like you see, I don't even know what it is, but on the right you see like this
over here.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it kind of looks like some sort of outfit, and so that's what makes me think that they're in some sort of temple or something, because it has ornaments in there, and this could be a test for Rey, for her to basically complete her training, that she has to basically defeat herself, and she sees herself like someone who could be just like Kylo Ren, which would explain the lightsaber
being rippled, right?
Yeah, rippled.
Because it's the only lightsaber she's seen that's red is rippled, and it's not normal to see a rippled, cracked kyber crystal, right? I mean that's not normal. Like, what are all these people into cracked crystals? It doesn't make sense. I think it's because it's the only way she's seen it. It's the only thing she envisions. But the weird part too is if you look over to the right where the ornament is, look at the shadow. You can see the shadow directly in sync with it. So it's almost like a reflection of a mirror. And that's what makes me think it's like Dagobah. And also this clothing, like, why would she just have a random new lightsaber and a random new clothing? Like, is it just a clone coming to fight her, or is this a vision? I still think it's vision. I mean, this lightsaber thing's badass, I'm not gonna lie. But it is kind of weird because when you look at it, it's kind of funny, like right there, like, who the hell's gonna fight? What's it like that?
And I think it's supposed to mimic her bow. That's why she's seeing this vision of why she has the double lightsaber, because you've seen her fight with the bow, and she fights with both sides. We've seen that, so this is just, again, more reflection of herself and seeing what she would be had she gone, or if she chooses the dark side.
You keep saying bow. Do you mean staff?
Bow staff.
Oh, okay. No,
like
you're fine. Oh, yeah. That tells you how nerdy we are in this podcast right there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, this one's really cool. I've been speculating, too, on the ring. It almost reminds me of Organa's ring, although she wore it, I think, her middle finger, I think. But this is, like, on an index. I don't know what that indicates. Like, why is there a ring? Like, Snoke's ring was different, right? It was this big gold one with, like, a crystal on top, and it's just... let me look that up real quick. Let's see.
As you're doing that, what I'm thinking is like all of the people that have been villains or antagonists in
here it is,
or in any type of lore, like it might be her wearing that. It might be like
she had a wedding. Wait, what is that's on her right index, right?
That's on her right index. So she could be wearing it as like a trophy, or as like a, I don't know. It might not even be the same thing.
It might not.
It might just be just something just because that's her style if she went to the dark side. So there might not be any deeper meaning to it.
There might not be. See, here's that scene when she's hugging her in the trailer. You can see the clothes have obviously changed, but it's the same shot. They're just re-adding.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if that is. It would be interesting though if that was it, because it kind of wraps around like that. But I think it only wraps around once. This wrapped around twice. I don't know if that has a significance too. Maybe if this isn't if this isn't a vision, is that something like she puts on and like Palpatine able to take her over for a second? But it still wouldn't make sense where the hell she got this freaking lightsaber. That's the only thing that's really puzzling me,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know about any Sith artifacts that will let someone who's already dead possess a body. At least I don't know of anything like that. That could be it. Other ones that we've heard is that it's a clone of Rey, which has been a theory for a while that she's a clone of, and there's multiple Reys. Like we talked about that theory a while ago too. So I mean, it could be, but again, I think we're leaning more towards that this is a vision.
Yeah, is that kind of where you're going with the two, a vision?
Yeah, it's more of a vision, and like we know we've talked about how Disney likes to spoil their stuff, but again, like I think it also like depends on the director, because I feel like it was more straightforward with the Last Jedi, like what's going to happen. It was more straightforward, and it wasn't like the Episode 7 trailers where, like you said, we thought it was Finn who was the Jedi, but it wasn't.
Right. No, yeah, that's a good point. And this is JJ's work, so I'm guessing he's obviously, I mean, you can kind of see what they're doing. They're going to answer a lot of the questions from 7. You can tell it from the trailer and then a little bit from this. So I just don't want to theorize and believe too much, because J.J. Abrams is really good at messing and getting hype on that kind of stuff. So I don't think Disney would make their main character just go straight dark. I don't think they'd do that with Rey. So
I don't think they would reveal it. At least in the Star Wars trailers, they've done it with other franchises, but I don't think with Star Wars they know better than to do that.
Yeah, no, I think you got a point. So that's pretty much the end of it, of what we got right here, and then it just kind of ends, and
there's nothing else.
Christmas,
just the
Rise of Skywalker. So still a lot of theories, still a lot of things we're kind of thinking. I do believe that Rey is a clone. I still believe that, and that's just theories. Who knows what the hell they'll do? But I do think that she's possibly created from Luke's hand, and that's why there's a vision called out in The Force Awakens with when she touched the lightsaber and it calls to her. It's just something needs to connect, and I'm just really curious how JJ is going to do this. I've always liked JJ's work. For how divided the world is with Star Wars right now, I wish him the best of luck. I'm cautiously optimistic. This is what's cool. You have two best friends here that, you are, on the other hand, you're the one that loved The Last Jedi. I absolutely hated it. And this is what's cool. I hate where there's all this battling. Like, people, you can have different opinions. Like, you don't need to have fights with your friends or anything. Dave's been, best friends since, what, 7 years old? 10? I don't even know.
Something like that.
Who cares? And, but at the end of the day, we all want Star Wars to be good. And I want this film to be good. I'm cautiously optimistic, and I hope JJ can do it. And I'm mildly excited. I'm still kind of cautious, but I'm definitely going to go see it opening night, and I really hope it's really good. It's looking fun, and I really kind of want to see how they end all 9 in one big kind of thing. And I don't know. I don't want to get too hyped on my theories because, they could be changed. And I don't want to figure out the movie, obviously. Surprise me.
Right. Yep, so let's enjoy it, and we'll watch it in Christmas.
Yeah, and then we'll have a good review, and you guys let us know too. If you guys notice anything else that we didn't notice in here, feel free in the comments. I'd love to hear other theories. I mean, it's exciting times, so see what this future comes from this.
Yep, so thanks so much for listening, guys. And again, like and subscribe and comment down below on your theories, and we'll keep you up to date on anything new that we hear about this movie. So signing off, this is David the Smash Fan.
This is Miles, your tech guy.
And this is Chibino Podcast.